Hey guys, Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Guys, hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Guys, I want to talk to you about a quick day trading strategy that you can utilize right now. It's great for beginners and it's also really good for experienced traders. It's a day trade setup that is based on news. And then what I do is I use an option strategy taught by Levi in our options room to kind of supercharge the results. So first I want to walk you through. This Hawaii Electric was a stock that's been hammered. There was a Wall Street Journal article out that said they might be responsible or partly responsible for the terrible fires that happened in Maui that decimated a good chunk of the island. And as we've seen in the past with the forest fires in California, when the utility company PCG was blamed for it, the companies got totally nailed. They ended up having to file for all sorts of lawsuits and bankruptcy and protections, and the stock was just decimated. And so remembering that, I knew that this HE could be in play for what we call a liquidation short. So what a liquidation short is when you start to get these kind of free-for-alls. And we saw this with the banking stocks, right? Like SIVB, when their earnings came out that specific day. A liquidation short is when you start to like really grind lower and lower like throughout the day. So let me just go to an intraday chart. And you can see like you broke the opening range and this stock is just cruising lower, and it's actually really orderly. But what happens during this type of setup is if it's orderly and it just keeps going down, see how like it can't even bounce over the 9 EMA the whole day? Usually what will happen is when the lunch period is over, so that's 1 p.m., somewhere between 1 and 2 p.m., you get a huge speed up as people start to get margin calls, the shorts start coming in, and the longs just give up all hope, and you get this epic trade opportunity. So one of the things that we did was, I was staring at this thing for a whole time, but it was like acting pretty slow and orderly, and that's just not my type of play. I'm waiting for that afternoon speed up, right? And so what we started to see as soon as people got out of lunch, you started to see a speed up here, right? And what we have here is just a really simple intraday bear flag. I want to see like minimum 3 to 10 candle consolidation, nothing longer because I want it to speed up. And I want that 9 EMA curling like right down on top of it. When that 9 EMA is coming down on top of it, it's telling you it's ready, but it's also going to help you minimize the risk on the trade because that's where you're going to put your stop loss. If this trade got over the 9 EMA here, like I would be busted out and I lose 20, 30 cents, like no big deal. Now, what I personally did on this trade is I use options taught by Levi in our options trading bootcamp and chat room. He's been crushing it all year to kind of supercharge this thing. So, as I'm staring at this, I'm looking at the options price on this, and they're really just sitting here, right? They've been sitting about 50 cents, and then it started to speed up, and you got this flag here right at $1 and some change, right? So they're pretty cheap in terms of like how many you can buy, right? And there was a little bit of a spread on it, like a nickel to 10 cents. You got to use limit orders. But when this started to break lower, right, what I'm doing is adding the puts on this a little bit under $1 for a bull flag that matches with, right, the bear flag on the intraday chart. So really simple, right? And when you start to see this, this can give you a huge home run play, even if it just drops like a couple dollars. And what you start to see is this thing just starts to trend up its 9 EMA like literally the whole time. Because what's going to happen is as this thing starts to speed up, more and more people are just giving up on this particular name, right? And the volume is just through the roof. Like it normally doesn't do any volume. So you start to see like out of this 100 million share float, like everybody's bagging on this thing, right? And so what I want to do is kind of trail down my stop. So, in our chat room in specific, I added in at 1787, and then I just start covering down 1741, 16s, 1599s, right? 14s, right? And then I finally covered up at 1457. So I ended up not getting the lows, but pretty good. And all I'm doing is if it's trending down this 9 EMA, I'm scaling out. But I'm allowing it to really just build and build. And I don't want to get out of it because I know that the longs are going to get bagged and get the heck out of this name. And you can see the awesome potential on these. When you use options, like, yeah, it goes from 18 to 14s. But, like, look at the options price, right? Like, I ended up selling out of the last of my puts at, like, 360 and really had, like, a nice trade on those lottos. Now, I never YOLO options. So, like, I don't hold these things for the home run. I don't believe, like, in trying to go for 400, 500% trades. I'm into base hits. You know, I take off a chunk into that first spike, and then I'm raising my stop losses and locking in my risk along the way. And so as long as it's trending up the EMAs, I'm good, right? And so I'm just watching this thing, and I'll just keep trailing up my stop. And I want to use a little bit of leeway. Like if you see here, each candle is about, right, 25 cents, give or take. And so like I want to give it at least one candle's worth of room under the EMA so I don't get stopped out. And then I can trail up. And in any extensions where you start to get a big push off the EMAs, you want to be selling into those. And man, this is like the simplest setup right in the world. And you can see right now, right? Like it's been bagged down into the 10 spot. Like this is an awesome setup. We were doing this in the banking crisis nonstop. I've been doing this when PCG came out. Anytime I see this kind of news play where a company is in peril, you want to keep hammering at these things and go for the big trade. This is a once in a 2 or 3 month setup. So you got to size in properly and really go for it. And we teach all of this in our options trading room. We've got, you know, an awesome trader here, Levi. Like, I mean, he trades mostly indexes, safe stuff, SPY, QQQs, Tesla, but like the guy is the real deal. And even when he loses, like, it's like today, you know, he took some losses. He was 0 for 2, but like he's minimizing the risk at about 25%, 20%, so minus 17%. But when he hits them, he really gets them good. And we've got a free trial to that options room. You can come in and trade with us. We've been having an awesome year. Guys, let me know if you have any questions on this liquidation short setup. I love chatting with you guys. And please smash that like button. Hit the notifications. I'm going to be putting out videos nonstop. Check them out. Guys, hopefully that helps. Love you guys. Peace.